What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Today we're going to have a little chat about Topps taking a page out of Panini's playbook, but it is not a good one. We're going to talk about Topps Chrome Logofractor edition and how they are walking down the path of Panini. They might have messed this one up. I think they might have messed this one up. I already have... So I ordered 4 boxes of this. It was up for a Fanatics drop. And of course, you know, they timed this all perfectly. They also went for sale on Topps.com, and the Fanatics drop all ended at noon Eastern on Monday. However, you didn't get the results of the Fanatics drop until about 1 o'clock. So I was in this weird limbo of, I'd like to rip couple boxes of this. You know, Topps Chrome, good product, good checklist, Logofractor, limited print run. More on that in a minute. Let's snag a couple on the drop. I didn't know. They went up on Topps. I said, well, I guess I better grab 2 just in case I don't win the drop, because I was on and ready to go at noon for the release. Snagged 2, and then later, found out that the drop hit. Well, that's where things started to go a little sideways, unfortunately. Before we dive too deep, though, shout out to today's video sponsor, the Pennysleever, your home for quality supplies, free shipping on orders, $49 and up. And if you are a first-time buyer, you could get 10% off with code NEOCARDS. All this information will be in the description down below. They have penny sleeves, team bags, semi-rigids for grading, the whole 9 yards, you name it. They pretty much got it. Mags. Go over and check them out and pick up something to protect your valuable cards. Once again, shout out to the Pennysleever for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back into some Topps nonsense. So, like I said, pulled the trigger on 4 boxes. Unfortunately, originally just wanted 2. I said, whatever. It's a popular product. It'll sell out here in a little bit. We'll be good. Monday goes on. Not sold out yet. Wake up Tuesday morning. Still not sold out yet. Tuesday afternoon rolls around. It's now Tuesday evening. Still in stock. They must have printed the hell out of this. Now, for a little history on Logofractor, basically it was a very niche product that was, and someone could correct me on this, I believe it was only sold in the MLB shop in New York City, was essentially the only way you could get this thing. And it was like a whole thing where you'd call on the phone and they'd hold boxes back and then sell them to you over the phone and then ship them to you, or you had to be in the city. It was all this nonsense. So when they did a drop, I think a lot of people naturally assumed, myself included, that this was a limited release product. Now, I was a little concerned because when I ordered my 2 boxes. I said, okay, cool. And I went and clicked on cases just for the hell of it. And I saw right here. Now this is cases. There's 20 boxes per case. When you go over here and you see there's a product limit of 20 cases per customer. That tells you all you need to know. I thought maybe it was a misprint. A few minutes later, cases actually went out of stock for a brief second. I think it was just a glitch in the matrix, because they immediately came back in stock and have been in stock since. They must have printed this stuff to the moon. And that's where taking one from Panini's playbook comes in to play. This is very reminiscent. Now, it's a little different because this wasn't a hobby exclusive product. It was basically an MLB Team Shop exclusive product, but a very popular one. Very popular product. Cards look great. I'm excited. I've actually never ripped Logofractor, so I'm excited to see the cards in hand. The comparison here I want to make is to what Panini did with Select. Now, if you remember, if you were around back in the peak pandemic days, the early days of the pandemic, Select got super popular as a product, as a competitor to Prism. And part of the reason was the limited print run of Select. And I'm using limited very loosely here. But it was a hobby shop exclusive. So it wasn't like there was blasters and mega boxes and fat packs and all this nonsense and shenanigans where things were printed to the moon. They were a little capped because it was a hobby exclusive product. That actually helped keep population counts down on a lot of key cards for key players like Luka and Zion and Ja and those sorts of guys. Well, what happened, Panini was like, oh, you guys like Select? This is a great selling product. They released a retail version of it, printed it to the moon, added 1 billion parallels. It went absolutely crazy, watered it down with more tiers, and then the next thing that you know, everyone hates it. I shouldn't say everyone hates it, but it becomes a very watered down product, and it loses a lot of its luster as a brand releasing products, and it hurt the brand going backwards. For the older stuff that wasn't actually printed to the moon, it had negative impact on that stuff as well because the overall brand was tarnished because of what they did to it. And this very much reminds me of that. Logofractor, very popular product, very niche-based product, lower print runs, kind of hard to find, even more so than Select. And then out of the wild blue, this year, they're like, run the printers, baby. We're taking this thing to the moon and back again. It is super scary that we are now 2 full days in and this stuff is still in stock. So they clearly printed a ton of this. And just to kind of show you, now for 2024, we don't really have anything yet. This is 2022 Topps Chrome Logofractor. Total population, just under 7,000 cards. This is for everything. Just under 7,000 cards for, the standard and the different parallels of each individual player. Now, when we go to the next year, 2023, it jumps up to 12,000 cards. So a moderate increase. I get it. Last year was successful. Let's print more this year. Now, what will 2024 look like? Oh, that one scares me a little bit. If it went from 2022, which was a really good rookie class, this was J-Rod and Witt, goes from, what was it, just under 7,000? Just under 7,000 to just over 12,000, a 5,000 increase. And remember, this is not a perfect science because we're just looking at PSA population report data. This is only a fraction of the actual number of cards produced. A lot of them were never graded. A lot of them could potentially still be sitting in sealed boxes. But it just gives you a rough idea that, okay, now the pop report jumped that much. What the hell is it going to look like for 2024? I'm going to bet you it blows past this number pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if it's past this by the end of the year. Now, as of right now, there isn't anything yet because they're probably all in the process of being graded. But boy, oh boy, how to water down a product 101 presented to you by the Panini playbook. Topps picked it up and ran with it. Now, we'll have to see how this all shakes out. Maybe it's not as doom and gloom as it seems to be, but definitely some red flags here. The fact that the product is still sitting 2 days later. And like I said, Topps Chrome is a good rookie class. It is a very good checklist. There's a lot of players to chase in it. So it's not like it's a bad checklist. I have heard, I don't know this personally because I haven't opened any. I saw a couple comments around that the quality control on Logofractor is not great this year. If anyone has any personal experience with that, feel free to fire away in the comments down below. But we'll see how this all shakes out. But the early signs are a little scary. That 20 case limit definitely scares the hell out of me and tells me that they printed an astronomical ton of this stuff. My boxes should be shipping any day now. Once they come in, we will go ahead and open them up. Maybe we'll rip 1 or 2 live and rip 1 or 2 on a pre-recorded video. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens when they get in. But as always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. We will catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.